because that's just your autopilot taking over.
And you get where you almost hit it or you hit it that one time and it reinforces like, oh, I was there or I almost had it. And it just becomes this cycle. But either way, again, double elimination tournament, you're going to have a chance to make it out. Like I always like to remind everybody, man, if you get to 2-2, you're better than half the bracket. That's just the way double elim works.
If you go 1-2, you're better than most of the bracket too. There's literally half of the bracket, or sorry, a quarter of the bracket goes out 0-2.
Yeah.
Which is not an insignificant factor, but up next it looks like we've got Sid and Ditzy stepping up to the stage. I believe that is Sid on the left and Ditzy on the right. Sid making it easy for us to recognize them in game. I'm a fan of the creative in-game tags that some players go for, but it's always nice to just see, this is my tag, this is my tag.
As a commentator, I very much agree with you there. It is sometimes hard, especially if it's someone you haven't commentated a ton that you're looking at, and especially if they're mixing up their characters mid-set, to where you got used to somebody and then they switch it up. It can be tough to keep up with them, but I do love the creative tags, man. Some of them are hilarious.
There was a Wi-Fi tournament that two people played the same character, played the same ult, and both of them had like random things as their in-game tag. So through the entire set, me and my co-commentator had no clue which one was which. We were just like, the red Palutena takes a hit on the black Palutena.
It is tough like that, but with Sid here coming on the cloud versus R.O.B, a couple of, higher tier, at least fundamentally sound characters here. R.O.B, many people will say is the best character in the game. He definitely has been up there since the start of Ultimate.
Before we move on, if you hear somebody say that, make fun of them.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. But
R.O.B is very good. Best character in the game. Looking at some of the other characters on this roster is quite a statement to make, and we'll see if Ditzy can reinforce that here.
But again, both of these characters have all the tools you need to win. Good fundamentals here, good ledge trapping. So it's going to really come down to a lot of skill, I think, in this matchup.
And this is where R.O.B really starts to struggle with a Cloud just throwing hitboxes and disjointed hitboxes at that your way, so that as you try and hit those moves at a disadvantage, be it nair or fair, it's just not fast enough or not long reaching enough, and there's not much you can do, as Ditzy's already been comboed up to 140, make that a stock with only a couple hits onto Sid.
Yeah, only a couple here, and doesn't get, the combos going there with down tilt, can't get anything really started, but does get a little bit of stage control. Limit is on deck for Sid, but maybe only about 5 more seconds of it. So that does expire there.
A little bit less than 5 seconds, good call out.
Yeah.
I always forget to, because I'm a Smash 4 player originally,
right.
I always forget to time limit when I'm playing as or against Cloud. I just go in my head, I'm going to have to deal with this until he gets rid of it, and don't even think about it. But looking for a dare there, very nearly combos it into a back air. Sid's not going to fall to that stock quite yet, but Ditzy was making it look like it was going to.
Yeah, right here, good. Oh, I knew he was going to go for the run-off cross slash. I thought he almost had Ditzy right there, but doesn't get it. Climb hazard, though, creates some space at the wedge, and a great parry into up smash to get the stock for Ditzy, but again, a lot of percent on him already.
Just keep in mind, though, they are going to be able to just do one gyro toss fair, and it could all evaporate for Sid, so they've got to play incredibly careful around once Ditzy gets gyro in hand, but this falling up air is going to put them in a juggle once more, and Sid looking to convert this into the stock, tries to catch an air dodge in or an air dodge out, but Ditzy gives neither.
Sid right now is doing a really good job of what I like to call sort of passive aggressiveness, where he's coming in a lot, but he's waiting on a lot of the hits to either bait out the shield or the shield drop and then punish it. And you saw it right there again where he gets the stock. And, that's what you see in the best players, right? It's the ability to not just go all the way in, but to act like they're going in and then kind of pause on it a little bit to throw you off.
92 already built. Sid excelling at these low to mid percents, just racking up damage on Ditzy, not really letting them play that game without rage. Has to pay the heavy tax just about every time. It's now 101 on, and gyro in Sid's hand. Going to be looking to close this out very soon. Gets an up B for a little bit of extra percent. Dash attack might do it.
Still at this ledge here, trying to find something. Sid looks for the spot dodge, but great punish there from Ditzy, but immediately turned back around, and Sid is not staying in disadvantage for long here in this set. He's doing a really good job of getting out of it and avoiding the R.O.B. as the down air gets the upward hitbox on it, and there goes the stock at Ditzy and the game.
Yeah, just charged up that limit, made Ditzy panic as soon as it was on deck, and that was all she wrote. Ditzy tried to go high to maybe steal out an early stock, and it did not work out well for them. the down air closes it out. And that is a very strong two-stock game number 1 for Sid.
Yeah, looking really confident in their play right now, and that's exactly what you want to see, especially at an early morning here at a major event. You've got to come in here confidently. You got to stick to your guns and know exactly how you want to play the matchup, and that's exactly what Sid did there. Again, conditioning the R.O.B, acting like he's going to come in really hard, waiting on that option that he can punish, just kind of bait and punishing him, and controlling a lot of the stages. We go to final destination here.
Gets an early nair fair, but percent going to be made up almost immediately by Sid, and now that they've been overtaken, it's just that comfort zone once again for them. Starting to make a little bit more use of gyro, though, as this set goes on. It was pretty much unused in game number 1 until towards the end. And I feel like that might have been one of the critical factors, as that is one of R.O.B's best tools, but is going to be able to tech off of the limit break cross slash towards the side of the ledge. Roll away.
Gets a dash tag here, and I'm loving what Ditzy is doing. Started to pick up on Sid, liked to come in over the top a lot, and was punishing him with some anti-airs there. Yet again, you can see it. Sid loves to do that full hawk jump approach in, and started calling him out for it here, as this one's much more even than we saw in game 1.
Gets the gyro in hand and uses that to force the early jump out to get the cross slash damage, and actually isn't going to be able to make it back to stage. So that's the first stock going in favor of Ditzy, a very big departure from how the last game went. The counter pick of Final Destination working out in spades for the R.O.B player.
Yeah, it was. Sid did use those platforms pretty well there on PS2, so coming here to a flat stage, I think suits R.O.B pretty well as he goes with down tilt chains. You can't quite get it here, but this is the opposite of what we were talking about in the first game. This is where R.O.B thrives. A lot of percentage on them, a stock lead. They can really rack up some damage in some early stocks here as Climb Hazard with Limit gets them back, but the back air over the top does get the kill.
Yeah, crosses up with that back air too, but I like the play from Ditzy to force Sid to waste out on that limit break so that they could not make use of it for the stock. Again, Sid excels here, that low to mid percent, 56 just off of a straight hit. And that's one of the biggest problems that Ditzy is running into here. No matter how big of a lead that they get, Sid can close it up pretty quickly.
Again, it's charging Limit here into Climb Hazard. Been a very common option for him. It's a good option out of shield, and I've seen Ditzy punish it a couple of times here as cross slash from the other side of that shield gets behind him, and now looking for this back here at the ledge, but Climb Hazard yet again, man.
Just keep using that limit break to say, come on, hit me, I'm open, come on, you can do it, I believe. And then Climb Hazard just says no, and Climb Hazard once again says no, as that's the stock off from it.
Yeah, really using it as an anti-air option a lot, which he's very good at, and especially with Limit gets the kill, but down throw into up air right there is going to get the stock, and we are dead even here. Ditzy needs to take this one to keep the set going. Sid looking to move on in bracket.
Down throw side B going to be a big damage dealer, ends up crossing up before the laser comes out, and that's a lot of lag. Didn't happen to be punished by Sid. Using the gyro though, both of them are. Turnaround up B, damage continues to build and beats out the landing nair. This is a very bad spot to be in for Ditzy, but very nearly converts that into a crazy reversal stock with the down air. Just a little bit farther out, and it would have been a game 3.
That it would have been, as now Sid has complete control of the stage, but gives it up right here just over the top as Ditzy. Cross slash here, going to add some more damage, but not really ever going to kill, so got to get that limit on, or an F tilt at the ledge is just going to do it. Ditzy almost able to live that one, but great read there from Sid, who clearly deserved that set. I thought he played very well throughout, but you got to give props to Ditzy, man. What a recovery there in game 2. Almost had that one.
Fairly impressed by the way that Sid's Cloud played throughout that, but yeah, I want to give props to Ditzy's R.O.B, just because throughout game number 2 especially, it seemed that they were starting to figure out, oh, here's how I can play with gyro, here's how I can position myself so that when he tries to jump over top of my head, I can still punish. And I feel like if that might have been a best of 5, or if those two ever meet in bracket again, might see a little bit of a different story, but it's not the story this time around. Great stuff to Sid, going to be moving on farther into the bracket, maybe for a shot at top 64 and maybe even for a shot at the Panda Cup finale.